All right, speaking of numbers, it's Garden Reach Shipbuilders that came out with its quarterly earnings. Revenues at about 1,010 crore rupees. Margins have contracted, but their profits have scaled up to 87 crores. Cmde PR Hari is now joining in. Thank you so much for taking time out. It's been a good set of numbers. And, I was just talking about your revenue run rate as well. A 34% growth is what you've witnessed. And you are what is it that you are targeting for FY25? Because you have been talking about a 20 to 25% growth every time we've been interacting with you. Does that hold?
Good morning and thank you. Our Q1 results have been interesting, very encouraging, and we feel there's a right kind of start for a financial year where our expectations are high. As you said, both our revenue from operations and the profit after tax have gone up. And so has the operating profit, which has shown a 50% rise over the corresponding quarter for the last year. Now, coming to the current financial year, I'll just put it in the right perspective. In FY22, our revenue from operations was 1,754 crores. In FY24, that is shot up to 3,592 crores. Our current order book is rupees 25,231 crores. So with this kind of order book and with all our projects being in a maturity level, project maturity level, wherein the revenue from operations are peaking, we are very confident of maintaining a similar trend in the current financial year and in the coming financial years too.
Oh. When you say in coming financial years, are you talking about 2-3 years? Are you talking about next 12 months? Coming is a very broad definition, isn't it, Komror?
Absolutely. Coming years is definitely a broad expression. Now, coming specifically to the current financial year, as I had just mentioned that we had shown almost 25 to 30% growth steady over the last 2 years, and we are very confident of maintaining that kind of growth in the current financial year. Now, our order book of this 25,231 crores, as per the current project schedule, including the new orders that we have received during the current financial year, we expect these to be completed by FY29. I include the new orders that we have received recently. With all this put together, the coming years, excluding the current financial year, where I already indicated a steady growth of 25 to 30%, the next financial year, that is FY26 and 27, are also going to be peak years.
How much of your current business is also coming from what could be called as maintenance and also other allied services, which are just not about fresh construction, it's about maintenance also?
Okay, in this order book of plus 25,000 crores, majority, that means almost 90% comes from shipbuilding and ship repairs. Now, since you asked about maintenance, I understand you meant ship repairs. Around 4.5% of our revenue is coming from ship repairs. We started in a very modest fashion with around 1% during the last year, and we have moved up to 5%. What we are targeting in the coming years to gradually bring this up to about 10% of our revenue. That is our target. We also have other business verticals as in commercial shipbuilding, which of course, it's a subset of the general shipbuilding. Then we have a deck machineries division and a Bailey Bridge, that is a portable steel bridges division. These give us good revenue, but if you're talking in terms of percentage, just about 2 to 3% of our overall order book.
That explains the allied and the repair and the maintenance part of it. But what about exports? How big can that opportunity be for you? And also words specifically on Bangladesh, because I think last few months you did bag some $21 million kind of projects from there. Any impact due to the social unrest there?
Okay, I'll answer your first question. Exports is a focus area definitely of the government of India, and so we as an appendage of the government, it is an equally focused area for us. And as you are aware, India is a destination for the commercial shipbuilders, commercial shipbuilding industry. This was not the case a few years back, and the European market is looking at India as an opportunity for shipbuilding. Almost all the Indian shipyards are right now constructing commercial ships for the European clients, and so are we. Happy to inform you that I had mentioned in the last interaction that we are expecting an order. We have concluded a contract with a European client for 4 multipurpose vessels with an option for 4 more. So the bottom line is that the export opportunities are huge in commercial shipbuilding. Coming to your question on Bangladesh, just to put things in the right perspective, our order book is 230 crores. We have 2 projects currently running in Bangladesh. The order value is just about 1.2% of our order book. That is one. So the impact is insignificant. Second, we are not worried. We have just concluded the contract, and unlike any other industry, manufacturing industry, where the project execution time is very short, in case of shipbuilding, the project execution time is long. For small platforms, it's to the tune of around 18 months, or for large platforms, the projects take often 3 to 5 years. So we are not worried at all. Right now, we are doing the preparatory activities to commence production, and impact at this moment, nil, as per our appreciation.
Shipbuilding business has a huge advantage, which is that operating leverage kicks in beyond a point. But the evidence of operating leverage was not there if I look at your margins, because your margins have gone from 6 to 7, but it has also come down from 8 to 7. So ideally it should be towards 10 rather than towards 7.
See, as I mentioned, shipbuilding is not like any other industry where like you press a button and the lights up, the lamp lights up. It's a long drawn process. It's like a sinusoidal wave. There are ups, there are downs. But if you average it out, in a conventional shipbuilding industry, the profit margins are plus 7.5%. As I have been consistently maintaining, we will maintain margins above 8%. Even this quarter, where our margins, as you rightly said in the opening statement, that margins have constricted a bit. Yes, there is a drop. We will make up for it in the coming quarters. It's a passing phase. We are not worried about that.
In how many current orders which you are negotiating, you are L1, and how do you see this entire process moving for rest of the year for you?
Okay, very interesting question. Actually, the last 3 months, I'll just take it in 2 phases. The last 3 months have been very interesting, where we have concluded, we have signed the contract for 4 projects. One, as I mentioned earlier, with a European client for 4 multipurpose vessels. One for an oceanographic research vessel. It's a high-value project. It's around 850 crores for Ministry of Earth Sciences, and 2 more projects for the government of Bangladesh. Now, we are L1 in a couple of projects, rather not a couple, around 4 projects now. The contract negotiations are in progress now. We expect the contracts to be concluded in the next 3 to 6 months. I'll be able to give you further details during our next interaction as to what exactly is in store in terms of value of orders as and when we conclude these contracts.
Right, and just
and
a
also
quick... Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, also for the last 2 years, I've been stating about an interesting project for the Indian Navy. It's a high-value project for the next generation corvettes. You must be aware that the tender is already out, and we are in the process of bid preparation, and we feel it is moving in the right direction, as this is a high-value order. 2 shipyards put together, it's around 36,000 crores. That is a AON cost from the Defence Acquisition Council that they took almost 2 years back.
Expect this order, and what could be the potential for it?
See, it is being split between 2 shipyards. The L1 shipyard getting 5 ships and the L2 3 ships. So the L1 shipyard should get around 22,000 plus crores. We are now in the process of the bid preparation, and we feel we are on the right track.
Okay, thank you so much for joining in, and all the very best for the road ahead. That's the management of Garden Reach. Exports will remain a focus area. 2 projects in Bangladesh that they are expecting, and Europe as well is looking at India for shipbuilding, so that's an opportunity. Flattish for the stock right now at 1938. We'll slip into a quick break, but